room. He's all the way upstairs, and there's still feedback to the speaker. That's amazing. Okay, everybody, welcome. Hello, thank you for coming. We're going to start with our pranayama today, Ujjayi breath. Now, we've practiced this last week, and if you came to my meditation and pranayama retreat, we did this too. Ujjayi breath is a really good breathing technique to use while you're holding poses in yoga, for example. So it makes you concentrate on your breath and not on the agony of holding the pose for 10 minutes. So the Ujjayi breath is like a Darth Vader or a slight snoring sound. You rest your tongue on the roof of your mouth gently, close your lips, and you're going to breathe in and out of your nose, but you're going to close off the back of your throat, the glottis. And as you inhale, you're going to hear a slight snoring sound. And as you exhale through your nose, you'll hear a Darth Vader kind of an exhale. So try that a few times on your own. This is a really good breath to help you concentrate on what you're doing. Also helps you get a rhythm to your breath. Since you can hear your breath, you can regulate it better. And then slow it down. You can't breathe really fast when you're doing Ujjayi breath. And big, slow breath through your nose, as we all know, is the key to a healthy life. Big, slow, long, deep breaths through your nose, the key to life. Okay, let's bring our breathing back to normal. Normal being in and out of your nose. I'll open with my greeting. Om Balu Satguru Bhagavan Ki. The divine is the inner teacher. Please, we'll start in Dandasana, staff pose today. I'm going to back up a little bit and have a block and a strap handy if you have them. And Dandasana pose, as you recall, is where you are seated with your legs stretched in front of you, toes pointed up, knees pointed up. Your torso is perpendicular to your legs, to the mat, and you have a 90-degree angle in your body. Tilt your pelvis forward so that you have a little arch in your lower back, and bring your shoulders up to your ears and then down, and then roll them up and then down, up and then down, and then just let your hands rest beside your hips. Keep your head over your shoulders, try not to jut it forward, and drag your heels toward you a little bit so you engage the muscles in your legs, and make sure that your knees are not locked here. They want to have a micro bend here, a very micro bend. Dandasana, staff pose. Take a deep breath in through your nose, reach the crown of your head up through the heavens. As you exhale, bend your right knee, bring it in toward your groin. Take your left arm and hug the knee to the chest. Inhale, right arm forward. Exhale, twist to the right, and then plant your right hand behind you on the mat and use that to keep your spine vertical. Take several deep breaths here through your nose, and every time you exhale, maybe get a little deeper in the twist. Make sure that your extended leg is straight and the foot is pointing up. Inhale, exhale slowly, come back to center. Walk your foot out slightly and then walk your left leg out slightly so there's a V, and then reestablish your tall spine. Turn your torso so it's above your left thigh. Take one hand on either side of the leg And then keeping your spine long, just lean forward toward your leg. Doesn't have to be far, but you want to make sure you feel that stretch in your lower back so that as long as you keep that pelvic tilt, you'll feel your lower back stretch. So this is a hip opener and a hamstring stretch and a back stretch. Several Ujjayi breaths here come in handy. Keep your head in line with the spine. And then slowly come up. And now bring both legs out into a Y. So this is called Upavista Konasana. So you want to tilt your pelvis forward again here so that you have an arch in your lower back. Konasana means angle pose. So this is an upright angle pose. And if you have a block handy, bring the block in front of you, or you can just put your hands on the mat. So the block just allows you to lean forward without humping your back. So if you can do that without your block, that's fine too. Just keep a long spine and just lean forward from your hips. You don't want to come from your waist. You want to come from the hip crease. Keep your head in line with your spine. Several Ujjayi breaths here. Okay, and then come back upright. Retilt the pelvis forward to reestablish your nice long spine. Bring your hands to the outside of your legs now. And then take a deep breath, bring your arms in a T, inhale. Exhale, twist to the right. Arms stay parallel to the ground. Inhale, exhale, come to center. Inhale, exhale, twist to the left. Couple of breaths here. Inhale, back to center. Bring your arms up beside your ears into Urdhva Hastasana. Inhale, push your fingertips up. Exhale, bring your right hand beside your right hip and then lean over to the right, opening up your left rib cage. Keep your feet pointed up, your knees pointed up. Push into your right hand, come all the way back up to Urdhva Hastasana. Inhale, reach up. Exhale, left hand comes down and open up the right side. And then pull back up, bring the hand down. Walk your legs back in slightly, bend your left knee into your groin area. So your right leg is at an angle, and you have a small V between your legs. We're going to now turn our body to the right, one hand on either side of the right leg, and come on down to our modified Janu Sirsasana on this side. Keep the leg straight, foot pointed up. Head in line with the spine. And then come back up. Now walk your leg all the way back to center and walk your foot in front of your crotch. And then the right arm will hold the left knee into the chest. Inhale, left arm forward. Exhale, twist. Park your left hand behind you as you twist. Several deep breaths here. Take a deep breath. Exhale, come back to center and re-extend the legs long. Get your blocks handy if you're using them. And get your strap handy if you're using it. So the L-shaped body, tilt your pelvis forward, keep your spine long, head on top of the shoulders. We're going to do some shoulder opening. So take your arms over your head, left arm on top of right arm, elbow to, so you're holding your elbows, and then you just let your right arm drop down behind your back, and then use your left hand to coax the right arm beside or behind the ear. Keep holding your abdominal muscles while you do this. Keep your spine long while you do this. Don't allow this to crunch your neck. And then release and come all the way back down. Now we're going to take our right arm, thumb down, and bring it around our lower back. And if you can grab your left bicep, go ahead and do that. If not, you can take your left hand and just hold on to your right wrist. And you're just coaxing the arm behind you to bring your chest forward. This is a bicep stretch. Several deep breaths here. Release that. And now bring your arms up overhead, Urdhva Hastasana. Inhale. Exhale, we're going to hug elbow to elbow. This time, right arm is on top of your left arm. And then you're going to allow your left arm to drop behind you. Pat yourself on the back and use your right hand to move your left elbow back toward your ear or behind your ear. Once again, try not to let this make your neck crunch up. This is a tricep area stretch right here. And then slowly release and bring your arms down. Okay, so if you have blocks, I'm going to do a little bit of, this is a core strengthening, but it'll look like it's an upper body strengthening thing, but it's really a core strengthening. So hop off your bolster if you're on a bolster, bring your blocks at any height. I'm going to put mine on medium, but you don't want them this high because it'll unstabilize you. This is either medium or low height. And then from here, engage your abdominal muscles and push into the blocks and lift your bottom off the mat. And just hold this for a couple of breaths. Bring your shoulders down from your ears. Really engage your core muscles here. And then slowly come down. Now, if you want to try it, we're going to lift our legs off, which means you're going to have to lean forward to get your legs up. It may not work for you, but walk your blocks forward a little bit and then lift your body up. And then as you lean forward, you might be able to lift your legs. And then back down. That work for anybody? Okay, now if you want to sit back on your bolster and then grab your belt, return to staff pose, Dandasana. And then bring the belt around the balls of your feet. Sitting with a tall spine, pelvis tilted forward, little arch in your lower back. Just lean forward from your hip crease, not from your waist. And all you're doing is using the straps as an extension of your arms. If you can grab your feet without the straps, that's great, but don't sacrifice your back in doing so. You just want a nice, long, straight back, long line from the tip of your head down to your tailbone. And again, keep your head in line with your spine. Ujjayi breath comes in handy here. This is a big stretch. And don't let your shoulders roll forward. That's a tendency. Keep your shoulders down from the ears. And then come back up, strap aside for a moment. Return to Dandasana pose. And then inhale, Urdhva Hastasana. Exhale, right hand down, left arm beside the ear. laterally bend. Push into your hand, come back up, Urdhva Hastasana, inhale, push up, exhale, left hand down, laterally bend. And then push into your hand, come back up, Urdhva Hastasana, inhale, exhale, bring your hands down to your sides. Inhale, open arms in a T. Exhale, twist to the right. So your left hand will come to the outside of your right leg. Your right hand's going to go behind you as a kickstand to keep your spine vertical. Now, keeping the twist, bend your right knee. See if you can grab the outside of your foot with your left hand, the outside of your right foot, keeping your twist. And then move your right hand behind you so you have some leverage so that you can lean back now and straighten your leg. It doesn't have to be all the way straight, but keep the twist. The left leg is fully extended, toes pointing up. This is a heron pose. And rebend the knee, bring the foot down, come back upright. Keep the knee bent. Now allow your knee to fall open to the side. So if your knee's bothered by hanging out in the air here, you can put a block or a bolster underneath of it. And then again, you're going to scoot your left leg out slightly to the side, as we did earlier. Sit up nice and tall, tilt your pelvis forward, turn your body to the left. And now slowly bring your chest down towards your knee. This is, again, an extension of your arms. If you take the belt and put it around your foot, it will allow you to come maybe a little further down without rounding your spine. So think nice, long spine. Head in line with the rest of the spine. All right, slowly, slowly come back up. Return to Dandasana, staff pose. Inhale, open. Exhale, twist to the left. So now your right hand comes on the outside of your left leg. Left hand behind you as your kickstand. Now bend the left knee. Take your right hand and grab the outside of your left foot. Keep the twist. Let your left hand walk behind you a little bit so you can lean back and straighten the leg. Now rebend the knee. Foot comes down. Walk your right leg out slightly and let your left knee open to the side. Again, if your knee doesn't like hanging in air like that, support it with a block or a bolster. And so you're now in a V-sit. We're going to turn our torso to the right this time. And if you need an extension to your arms, use your belt around the foot. And then we're going to come from our hip crease and let our chest melt down toward the leg, keeping a straight, long spine. So the tendency here is to hunch the shoulders and drop the head. So just think about one long line from the top of your head to your tailbone. Doesn't matter how far down you come. Just don't sacrifice the spine for the sake of getting low. And very slowly come back up. If you're using a belt, put that aside. Come back to your staff pose. Place your fingers behind you, pointing toward your feet. Open your chest up. So you feel a broadening of your collarbones here and your shoulder blades coming together down your back. And now come upright for a moment, bend your knees, place your feet flat on the mat, and then keep your hands behind you. You might have to adjust the distance a little bit to get the leverage to just lift your bottom up into a reverse table. So think about, again, don't let your head fling back. Make sure you keep control of your neck here. Several deep Ujjayi breaths come real handy in this pose. And then very slowly back down. Good. And now hop off of your bolsters if you're on one. Keep your feet bent in front of you, your knees bent in front of you, and keep your fingers behind you. And then push your belly forward and open your chest forward so that you get a little bit of arch in your lower back. Okay, now see if you can keep your spine as straight as you have it now and let go. Your feet are still down on the mat. This is a form of a Navasana. Now come all the way up, grab behind your thighs, pull your chest forward, spine long. Take your right hand on the outside of your left thigh, left hand behind you into a twisted boat pose. Come back forward, bring your hands behind your thighs again. Elongate your spine. And this time we're going to take the left hand to the outside of the right leg and twist. Come back to center, and now come on down to your forearms behind you. Your elbows are underneath the shoulders. Tilt your pelvis forward so you feel a little bit of arch in your lower back. And then lift your legs so that your feet are about eye level or a little higher. And we're going to do some scissors. So with breath, inhale, open your scissors. Exhale, close. Keep your belly tight. Open. Exhale, close. Inhale, open. Keep the belly tight. Exhale, close. Inhale, open. Belly tight. Exhale, close. One more time, open. One more time, close. One last time, open. One last time, close. Roll up. Place your feet on the mat. Hug knees to the chest. So roll over onto one side and then come into your table position. And we're going to stand up. So we're going to do this through downward facing dog. If downward dog is not your thing, you can just stand up without assistance. Otherwise, tuck your toes and push your bottom up into your downward dog. Spread your fingers wide, bend your knuckles so that the knuckles take some of the weight off your wrist. Forearms squeeze together. Feel your shoulders rolling out. Keep your knees bent so your spine stays long. Your head melts between your arms. Your chest melts down toward your thighs. Take a deep breath, and now walk your hands back to your feet. And then you come into a forward fold. So shift your hips forward some so that they're on top of your ankles. So the tendency is to have your hips behind your ankles, like so. So just shift your weight forward so that you feel like you're straight over the ankles. And then very slowly bend the knees to rise up. And then inhale up. Exhale, arms in a T. Anjali Mudra. Okay, so now please, if you have blocks, take one block or take both blocks. And one block is going to go between your thighs, skinny way. So make sure you're above the knees here. Okay, so the reason for this block is so that you're getting the feeling of rotating your thighs inwards, because in order to hold the block between your legs, you have to sort of squeeze your thighs, rotating inward slightly. That's how you should feel in mountain pose Tadasana, even if you didn't have the block there. And bring the other block in front of you long ways like this. And then inhale as you reach up, squeezing the block between your hands. Reach up, squeeze, 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 and then point your fingertips up and keep squeezing the block. And by squeezing the block, you're isometrically working all the muscles in your arms and upper shoulders. Make sure your belly stays tucked in. Couple of Ujjayi breaths here. Great, this is a good upper body strengthening exercise. The more you squeeze the block, the better it's going to be. Okay, now very slowly, bring the block down. Remove the other block from your legs. Put them aside, shake your arms out. And return to Tadasana now, and just imagine that block is still between your legs. And have your head squarely on top of your shoulders. Take a deep breath. Exhale, drop your chin to your chest. Inhale as you drag your chin to the right. And we're going to make a clock face looking up over the right shoulder. And then we'll look up to 12 o'clock. And then come down over your left shoulder. Pause in front of your chest. Once again, inhale to the right. Slow, big inhale. And then exhale as you look down over the left. Pause here. Keep your Tadasana legs, imaginary block between your legs. Inhale. This time we'll go to the left. Drag our shoulder up. Our chin up over the shoulder. Look to 12 o'clock. Exhale, bring it down over the right. And once more, inhale up the left. And exhale down the right. Pause in the center of your chest. And then inhale, lift your head. Okay. Take a deep breath. Exhale, bring your right ear towards your right shoulder. Take your right hand and place it on the left side of your head. Now, don't force any pressure here. Just let it rest there above your ear. And now take your left arm and move it diagonally away from your body and push your fingertips away to enhance that stretch. And then slowly lower the arm, release your head back to Tadasana. Reestablish your mountain pose. Inhale here. Exhale, left ear to left shoulder. And then the hand comes to the right side of the head. And then slowly just raise your right arm in a diagonal from your body and push the fingertips away and help enhance the stretch. And then release the hand and release the head back to mountain pose. Okay, from here, bend your knees slightly, bring your hands onto your thighs, and we're going to do some standing cat-cow. So start with a neutral spine, take a deep breath in, and as you exhale, you're going to round your spine upward, like you do when we're on our hands or knees, except This time we're just standing. Curl your spine upward, tailbone down, tuck your chin, feel your spine open. And then inhale as you drop your belly down, and then stretch your head forward, tailbone back, and straighten your legs. Once again, exhale, bend the knees slightly, curl your spine upward like a scared cat. And then inhale as you drop your belly down, straighten your legs and extend your spine long. And then slowly rise up, back to Tadasana. In Tadasana, bring your arms, Urdhva Hastasana, and then come up onto your tiptoes. Inhale. Exhale, bring your arms down and your feet down. We'll do that again. Inhale, bring your arms up and then come up on the tiptoes. Exhale, come down. Inhale once more as you come up onto tiptoes. And then exhale once more as you come down. Inhale, arms up. Exhale, come into your chair pose. Take a deep breath here. And we're going to do what I call a swinging chair. So inhale here. Exhale, bring your belly, straighten your legs, bring your arms behind you, belly toward your thighs. Arms are pointing now to the ceiling. And then inhale as you swing your arms back forward into chair. And then all the way up. Okay, one more swinging chair. Come into chair. Inhale. Exhale, swing the arms behind, straighten the legs. And then come forward. And then all the way back up. One more time. Inhale, come into chair. Exhale. Inhale. Swing the arms behind as you exhale. Inhale, arms come back forward. And then all the way up. Inhale. Exhale, bring your arms in a T. Back to Anjali Mudra. And then back to Tadasana. So now take your right leg, cross it to the pinky toe side of your left foot. And your knees are sort of stacked over one another. Okay, so this is sort of a balancing challenge. So now we'll do eagle arms. Normally, if you're going to balance in eagle legs, but we're not going to do that. We're just going to cross our feet and place both feet on the ground. And then take your arms in a T. Inhale. Exhale, hug yourself with your right arm underneath your left arm. So hand to shoulder, right arm under. And then slowly open your forearms toward each other into eagle arms. And you can either spoon your hands or palm to palm. So this takes a little bit of balance challenge with your feet crossed like this. Find a focal point. Push your elbows up to shoulder height and push your forearms away from you. And then slowly unwind. Keep your legs crossed. Bring your arms open to goddess arms and push your chest forward as you bring your arms behind the line of your body. Okay, now bring your arms up, Urdhva Hastasana, and very slowly, very carefully, put your weight onto the left foot, lift your right leg in front of you into a one-legged balance. And then very slowly, see if you can bring your arms down. And maybe you can hug your shin up into your chest. Make sure your shoulders stay relaxed down from your ears. Now here's the real balance challenge. You're gonna have to you're gonna move your focus. So you're gonna take your left hand on the outside of the right thigh. And then you're gonna open your right arm to the right as you twist your body to the right. So you're gonna be changing your focus as you twist, which is not an easy thing to do. And then pause here. A couple of breaths. If you lose your balance, don't worry about it. And then slowly come back to center and then put your leg down. And then shake everything out. I know that was a long one. All right, but now we have to do the other side. So left leg over right. Inhale, arms in a T. Exhale, left arm under, right arm over. And then bring your forearms together to eagle arms on this side. Push your forearms away. Your elbows are shoulder height. Your hands are palm to palm or spooned, or as close together as they can get. They don't have to touch. Keep your neck relaxed. Feel the stretch in the upper back. How your shoulder blades are coming apart and opening. And unwind. Keep your legs crossed. Come into goddess arms. Chest forward. Keep your belly tucked. Couple of ujjayi breaths. Okay, so now we're going to shift the weight onto our right foot and bring your left leg up. And your arms are Urdhva Hastasana here, beside your ears. Slowly, our arms come down. Maybe grab your knee or your shin, hug the leg into your chest. Keep your focus. And then very slowly, right hand goes on the outside of the thigh as you slowly turn your balance to the left. And then when you want to come out, come forward first and then come out. Very good. Good. That was a hard one. Okay. We're going to go over various warrior poses. And we're going to work on them one by one, and then I'm going to put them together. So start with your hands on your hips, step your right foot back, and then bend your left knee. So this is where your feet are on railroad tracks. Your front knee is bent. Make sure the knee is over the ankle. So you don't want to be like this. You want to be like this. Your tailbone is down. Your back foot is angled off to the side. And then bring your arms beside your ears. This is the classic Warrior One. And now we're going to move into Warrior Two. So here's what you do. You're going to spin your arms to a T as you turn your body to the long edge of the mat. And then you're going to shift your back foot in toward your body about a couple of inches so that the back arch is lined up with your front heel. And then your head turns to face over your front arm. So classic misalignment here is to allow the knee to fall in. You want to make sure it stays above the knee, and also make sure it doesn't go forward of the ankle. So your chest is to the side mat, your head's turned, belly in, tailbone down. And now we're going to go from here back to Warrior One. So we're going to swing our arms forward, step our back foot out a little bit, back to your railroad tracks to Warrior One. And then bring your hands to your hips and then come up to meet the other foot, return to Tadasana. Okay, now we'll do the other side. Start with hands on hips, left foot back. Get your railroad tracks, which is about hip width distance apart. Back foot is angled. Front knee is right above the ankle. Adjust your stance so that you're not overextending the knee. Your hips are forward, chest is forward, and the arms beside your ears. Classic Warrior One. Make sure you keep weight in the back foot. That's another tendency, is it's easy to lift the outside edge of your back foot, so really plant it down. So now we're going to go from our railroad tracks to our balance beam. Open the arms, turning to the side, shift your back foot so that you're lined up with your front heel. Your chest is facing the long edge of your mat. Turn your head to look over your front arm. And I can feel myself doing letting my knee fall in. Make sure it doesn't fall in, it stays directly over the ankle. Your torso is vertical. One other tendency when you're in Warrior Two is to shift forward like that. So you want to make sure your torso is vertical. And then going back from Warrior Two to Warrior One, we're going to bring our arms forward, widen our stance back to railroad tracks. And then bring your hands on your hips and step up. Okay, back to Tadasana. Now I'm going to demo for you something that we've all done before, but it's not easy. So I'm going to show it to you again, and we can modify accordingly. What we're going to do is we're going to go from downward facing dog, and I'm going to say, step your whatever foot up. In this case, this is going to be my right. So I'm going to say, kick up in the air, and then step this foot between your hands. Now, sometimes it doesn't get there. So here's what you can do. If it only gets to here, that's all right. You pick it up and you put it there. Or the other thing is you can sort of lift your hand out of the way and swing it up there. Or you can use blocks to elevate, make your arms longer, and then shift it up with your blocks. Okay? So let's try that. Either way you get it there is fine. So starting from Tadasana. Inhale, Urdhva Hastasana. Exhale, bend your knees, forward fold. Inhale here. Exhale, step back to downward facing dog. Now we're going to do our little trick. Inhale, kick your right leg up behind you. Exhale, swing it up between your hands, or pick it up and put it there. And then once your foot is established between your hands, drop your back heel down at an angle so that we can come up to Warrior One. Good. Okay. Pivot, open, Warrior Two. Moving your leg back so that your foot is lined up with the ankle, and turn to look over your front hand. So now we're going to straighten the front leg. Shift your hips to the left, and then turn to look, not at me, but the long side of your mat as you pivot into triangle pose. So now your back of your right hand is resting someplace on the inside of your leg. Your other arm is pointing straight up, and your torso is long. Legs are straight. Pull up with your left hand to rebend your knee. Come back to Warrior Two. Now facing the front hand. Shift to Warrior One. Good. And now we're going to shift to Warrior Three. Warrior Three is a balance. So move your weight forward, come onto the toes of your back foot. And if you want to use blocks here, that's what blocks are for too. So you can come forward with or without blocks. Actually, it's good if you have blocks first to get your hips level, because the tendency in Warrior Three is to cock the hip up. So get your hips level, and then if you want to try your balance in Warrior Three, you can bring your arms forward. And then slowly bring your leg back down, come back to Warrior One. Open your arms wide, thumbs down, clasp your hands behind you, pull your hands away, open your chest as you look up, and then lean forward, come all the way forward, and bring your shoulder to the inside of your knee in Humble Warrior. Slowly back up, unclasp your hands, inhale back up to Warrior One. Bring your hands on your hips and step up. Good. So we'll do the other side now. So warrior poses are called warrior poses, not to condoned violence or war, but it's to fight your own ego, to battle your own ego so that you can get it out of the way and be at one with the universe, be at one with yourself. So that's why they're called warrior poses. Okay, so now we'll do the other side. Start in Tadasana, inhale, arms up. Exhale, bend your knees, forward fold. Step back to downward facing dog. Inhale, left leg up. Exhale, swing it up between your hands. Plant your right heel. Slowly come up to warrior one. Pivot open to warrior two. Realigning your feet. Chest is to the long side of the mat. Head is facing forward. Now, straighten the front leg. Shift your hips to the right. Palms forward as you come into your triangle pose. So now you're looking toward the long edge of your mat. Rebend the front knee. Come back to your warrior two. Shift back to warrior one. So now your feet are on railroad tracks again. Pivot onto the toes of your right foot. Shift the weight forward onto your left leg and either use the blocks or just come into your warrior three here, but make sure your hips are level. That's the challenge. And then very slowly come back to warrior one. Arms in a T, inhale, thumbs down, bring your arms behind you, pull your hands away, open your chest, look up. Take a deep breath, and then bow forward into humble warrior. The shoulder is coming on the inside of that front knee. Okay, release your hands, pivot onto your right toes, bring your hands on either side of your left foot. And then you're going to step back your left foot to meet your right foot into downward facing dog. Take a deep breath here. As you exhale, bring your knees down and sit back toward your bottom in child pose. You take a break. You can rest your head on a block or a blanket or the mat. Bring your arms beside your body, palms facing up. And very slowly rise back up. And then please come on to your backs. Grab a block if you have one. Bend your knees, come all the way back down onto your shoulder blades. And then we're going to take our sacrum on the block, lift your hips, put your sacrum on the block, and either keep your feet on the mat in a supported bridge, or let your legs float up into the air. Now, if you don't have a block, and that's okay, you can do an alternative, which is sort of like a half of a shoulder stand. Placing your hands on your sacrum and letting your legs come up over your head. Or you can just lie here with your feet on the mat and your arms to your side. You can also use pillows here or a bolster to prop up your hips. The purpose is just to have your legs up in the air as an inversion. Temporarily takes the pressure of gravity off your spine and your organs. Helps your digestion, helps the circulation of the blood, helps your brain. And now with your legs up in the air, if you have your sacrum on the block, if you want to just take your legs apart into a V to open your groin area. And then bring them back together. And then if you want to do one leg over your head and the other forward, like scissors, and then you can scissor the other way. Come back to center. And then very slowly lower your feet back down to the mat. Remove the block. Bring your bottom down. And then walk your feet together and allow your knees to fall to the open to the sides as the soles of your feet come together in Baddha Konasana. And then allow your arms to fall out to a T, keeping your shoulders down on the mat, palms facing up. Okay, so now see if you can keep the soles of your feet together. Lift your feet off the mat, bring them in toward your chest, and then take your hands, thread them between your legs, and see if you can grab the outside edges of your feet. And then allow your feet to open up toward the ceiling, the soles of your feet pointing to the ceiling as you come into the Happy Baby. So you're pulling your knees down toward your armpits. So now bring your feet back together. Place the soles of your feet together and then allow them to slowly float back down to the mat. Come back into your Baddha Konasana. And now bring your knees together. Keep your knees bent. Your feet are hip width distance apart. Push into your feet to shift your hips 1 or 2 inches to the left. Keep your shoulders flat as you allow your knees to fall to the right. So now your knees don't have to be together. In fact, they won't be together. Keep the palms up, but then you want to keep your shoulders open if possible. Come back to center. Shift your hips back to center. And then shift them 1 or 2 inches to the right. And allow your knees to fall to the left. And then I think I forgot to tell you, but this time we're going to turn our head to look to the right. Gives a little bit of a neck stretch here. Slowly, knees back to center, shift your hips back to center, head comes back to center, bring both knees into your chest, Hug your knees with clasped your laced fingers and roll around on your spine, both directions. And then bring your feet back down to the mat and extend your legs long into Savasana. Get comfortable in this final relaxation pose called Shavasana. Shavasana is the name of a pose that can be used for meditative purposes or just for a rest. So you want to be comfortable. Some people like to put something underneath of their knees. And when you get comfortable, focus on your breath. Slow down your breathing. Release all the tension in your shoulders, your neck, and your jaw. And one way to induce meditation is imagery. So I'm going to read you a poem by Mary Oliver, who is an American poet known for her vivid imagery in her poems. This one is called Swan. Did you too see it? Drifting all night on the Black River. Did you see it in the morning, rising into the silvery air, an armful of white blossoms, a perfect commotion of silk and linen as it leaned into the bondage of its wings, a snowbank, a bank of lilies, biting the air with its black beak. Did you hear it, fluting and whistling, a shrill, dark music, like the rain pelting the trees, like a waterfall knifing down the black ledges? And did you see it, finally, just under the clouds, a white cross streaming across the sky, its feet like black leaves, its wings like the stretching light of the river? And did you feel it in your heart, how it pertained to everything? And have you too finally figured out what beauty is for? And have you changed your life? Please bring your awareness back to your breath and slowly deepen your breathing as you gently wake up your body, making small movements with hands and feet. And then please slowly bend your knees and roll onto your right side in a fetal position to seal the practice. The right side of your body is the masculine side, fiery, bright, hot. You're sealing off all that fire and light and allowing the feminine side of your body, your left side, to be exposed which is dark, cool, and calm. And that'll take you through the rest of your day. So please now slowly, keeping a quiet mind, push up to seated. And I shall close with my closing chant. Loka samasta sukino bhavantu. May the entire universe be filled with peace and joy, love and light. Namaste. And Jai Yogis.